All right. Welcome everyone to a special edition of DS3 Live. Doing a special show this Sunday afternoon. And I got a very special guest, somebody that I know very well. He's an artist, which we'll be talking about his artistry. He's got his brand. We'll be discussing his world travels, art school, pop culture, a variety of different things on today's show. But we got Shane Killian on the show. My cousin, how's it going?
Pretty good, aka Smirking Kills.
Yes,
uh,
sir. Working
Doing pretty
kill.
well today.
Glad to get you on the show first time
Nah,
you coming on, and
yeah,
glad we were able to make this happen. So, kind of first off, just tell us a little bit about yourself for those that don't know.
all right. So my name is Shane Killian. I used to go by Shane OK as an artist. Then Smoking Kills as a DJ. Then I switched it all to Smirking Kills because I like to do the smirk. So that's what I do. I'm a painter and photographer. Used to be a writer. So I switched it up to just capitalize on my like creativity, my artistic ability, and that's my thing. I love to draw, paint, take pictures, whatever you want to call art. I will probably be trying to do. And yeah, I went to art school. Before that, I went to Paris. That kind of sparked me going to art school. Uh, as an English major, I was thinking I don't want to sit behind a desk just stuck. So I want to live life, experience things, and turn that into painting, art, whatever. Um, so now I've been living in San Francisco for the past 11 years. I'm from Oakland originally, West Oakland,
Yeah,
town business.
yeah,
Uh, and yeah, I'm out here. Been out here for 11 years. Just had like a 2 year old. Well, now I have a 2 year old born in 2019, and now he's about 2.5 years old. With my partner for 7 years, Alyssa, and we're just trying to do it in the city, making it work, and trying to do my art stuff. Um, so I'm always looking for new opportunities, new ways to improve and market my art. So that's why I'm on this show with my big cousin Trey.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm was excited about this one. Had your brother on the show numerous times, Tracy, the
Mm-hmm.
designer, the stylist, and
Yeah.
so I have you coming on as the artist. We do have a couple of comments. We do shout outs on this show, so it's very interactive.
Yeah.
We got my parents on the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. They say, "Hey Shane,
Hey, Alrini. Hey, Uncle Benji.
we got my guy Courtney Harden. He's host of the Real Deal with Courtney Harden. He's on BS3 Network.
Oh, nice.
Glad
What up?
thank you for commenting. Happy Sunday to you as well. We are live on a variety of different platforms as well. Let me make sure I say that. We're live on Roku TV, BS3 TV. We're also live on YouTube, live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. We're live on everywhere you can pretty much think of besides Instagram. We're not live there,
Yeah.
but we're live pretty much everywhere else. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, click that notification bell. Also, you can follow Shane on Instagram at Smirking Kills or his other handle at Up and Adam Industries. You see it right there on the screen. So you can find more information about him as well as his websites, smirkingkills.com and then society6.com/smirkingkills, which will actually pull those websites up later on in the show so you're able to see them and see what he has on there. All right. So, has art always been something that you've been passionate about?
I mean, yeah, I think I used to just like doodle and draw all the time as a kid. And I think the very first thing I learned to draw was from the Sunday comics. I had like silly putty, so I'd copy the characters and put them on paper. And I just freehand draw the characters. So I think the first one I did accurately was Beetle Bailey.
Mm.
So once I got his form down and everything, I kind of would make my own little comics with him where I'd like draw Beetle Bailey and then do the backgrounds, all that stuff on my own. Um, and then I think around fifth grade, uh, that's when I realized not everyone could draw like I can. Like that's an actual skill.
That's when it
So
clicked.
yeah, that's why I was like, oh, I thought everyone could just draw as good as I could, but I soon found out that you know, not a lot of people can actually draw. So I just decided to work on that. It wasn't even like really working on it. Just like uh, doodling is the biggest thing. Just constantly drawing. And that's what made it fun and easy for me because I don't see it as real work.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think that's important that it's you if you have a passion and you have something that you love doing, yeah, it's not
Mhm.
work because it's something that you love and that you enjoy. And I definitely see that
Yeah.
with your art. And also I
Mhm.
want to make sure I point out the images that you see behind me is Shane's art that's on his Society 6 website. You can see the variety of different uh, types of art, and like you said, photography. He really does some of everything, and we'll show that website. So stay tuned for that. So you're in becoming an artist.
Mhm.
Is there particular forms of art that you prefer? And kind of just give me a. You started with doodling, like you said, and
Yeah.
where are you at now? So kind of a history of what you've done.
Yeah. So I mean, started with doodling. I think even before art school, regular school is art school for me because I was doodling all the time in class. Uh, and as I got older, you know, I kind of saw myself as a writer, an author, or something like that. You know, had like idols like Albert Camus, John Steinbeck, all these other great American and international authors. So that was kind of where my focus was before. And then once I went to Paris, that was kind of where it drew the line like hard in the sand, where I was like, only at class 2 days a week, just hanging out in Paris with a, you know, international dorm, bunch of people from different nations,
Yeah,
and just like living that life as a young kid, I, like 19, 20 something. Kind of was like, oh, I was going to the Louvre like almost every day, and I'm seeing all these paintings. I'm like, why can't I do that? Like, it's not that difficult. I just got to keep working at it. And
right.
from there, I went to art school immediately after getting back from Paris. And once I did that, I kind of was, I love cartoons, number one. So I'm constantly watching cartoons. I'm 33 years old, and I still love watching cartoons above all else. Um, so once I did the animation and media arts program at the Academy, or no, sorry, the Art Institute of California, San Francisco. From there, I took away from three main basic classes: color theory, uh, figure drawing, and logo design. So from there, I've always had a passion about art. So number one influence is Basquiat, second Pablo Picasso, third Roy Lichtenstein, and then fourth I would say Ed Rushka. He's one of my favorite artists. I like his style. So my whole style is basically characters, like cartoons. Let's start with that, and then add the kind of aesthetic flair. So if you notice on any of my pieces that are paintings, there's a hard black ink, India ink, and that's basically where I start out with, draw the figure, and then add the colors, add all that stuff, or vice versa. So for me, it's a natural progression from doing that to photography. That's also a big influence on my art. Gordon Parks is my photography idol. No, I don't know how I forgot this. Jean Michel Basquiat, he's my top artist. So if you notice, that's like my style. Most people would think it looks like little kid drawings, but it's like a lot of work that's going into that. I'm making all the right choices. So you may think it's like I'm not doing anything, but I am really drawing from my experiences and drawing from my knowledge of art to make and create all these pieces. Like it seemed like it's just I'm doing them like 1 or 2 seconds, but there's like thought process behind that.
Yeah, yeah, it takes time, and
Yeah.
I think that we were talking about that kind of before or last weekend. Just like
Mhm.
there's artists that ever evolving and changing, and there's some things that you were saying like on social media that like that's not art. I mean,
Yeah.
there's thought and there's preparation, that goes into it.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, let me give a couple shout outs. Your dad is here. Of course, he was going to be here. He said, "You drew Beetle Bailey at 3 years old. I still have the paper."
That's gonna be worth money.
He said he drew it on a yellow legal pad.
That
Um,
legal beagle.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
We got my sister Camelia. Thank you for tuning in. She said she was kind of shouting you out to Cam Mitchell, saying to meet you. We got our
Nice.
Aunt Joe. Thank you for tuning in. Uh, said Uncle Joe and Tom. I guess that's Aunt Joe. Visual Swaddle skills are top tier. That's what.
Camellia, she's been a big up in me since college, so I know she's happy to see me on this because
Yeah,
I'm not really big, not big into pushing myself, you know.
yeah,
Like I'm more just like let things happen. Like I think it was what's his name, uh, Bukowski made a quote where it's like, "Don't try," which is basically a super simplified version of the Nike slogan, "Just do it." Like,
yeah.
don't try, you just do things and things happen, you know?
Right, right. And I'll say I agree with that, but also I'll say nobody's going to promote you like you.
Yeah,
That's one thing
exactly.
I've learned in this podcast game is nobody's going to people are going to support you, but
Mhm.
nobody's going to promote it the way that you feel it should happen.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'll definitely say that. Yes, Aunt Joe and Tom. Yes, we got you. We figured that that's what you were that's what you were getting at there.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Shane Killian on the show, just talking about his artistry travels, and that's amazing. Going to Paris, I can't even imagine. And you talking about art, the pieces. You want to talk about some of the pieces of art that you've seen, and how impactful was that for you?
Oh, I mean, the biggest one was when I first saw the Mona Lisa in the Louvre. Like, I always pictured Mona Lisa being like this humongous painting, but it's super tiny. And between the whole crowd of people trying to see it, it's like I just got a small glimpse of it, and it's just like a normal painting.
Mm,
So when I saw that, that also was what kind of sparked me to be like, I can do this. Like, it wasn't anything special. It's just it's a painting.
yeah,
Um, so I think those pieces really spoke to me. I believe there's one. I don't know the name of it, but I remember there's this one where it was like a scene with a like a either a nude man or nude woman laying on the grass by a stream, and it's like the light was coming through the leaves. The way it was painted, it looked so realistic that I was like, I want to be able to do that. I need to be able to do that. Uh, if I can do that, then that's when I'll be like, okay, I know what's going on with painting. So a lot of the art before Paris was mainly, Jean Michel Basquiat, The Radiant Child, all that stuff. I was seeing that on PBS and like Sesame Street with Keith Haring and all that stuff. Um, and I kind of just felt like I was getting knowledge through osmosis, where I didn't realize that this was like being ingrained into my head.
hmm
But that's kind of where my love for the art came about because I've been watching cartoons since I was a kid, and going to Paris and seeing the thing I love to do just in this centuries old place, and they've been around for so long. It's like artists had a lot of respect from people back in the day, and I know that can happen again, and it is happening again. And now it's just more digital and social media platforms that are kind of making that happen. So uh, I think that is the biggest thing. Social media has to be on point. Like, like you said, you got to promote yourself. Uh, no one's gonna promote me like me.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, social media has just blown everything up.
Yeah,
The way art is presented, people doing art while they're on a Facebook Live. I mean,
yeah.
posting. I mean, it's social media has really changed everything, and it's kind of twofold. It's good that
Mm,
gives you more exposure, but it's also on the flip side. It I think it dampers kind of like what we talked about. The true artists that aren't always posting their stuff. On
yeah.
Instagram or something.
I mean, that's the whole thing. That's why I'm trying to do the Society Six thing because, like I said, I've been doing art for forever, and I just have stockpile of art. Like my back room is full of paintings that I've done, and online I have gigabytes and gigabytes, maybe terabytes of old photos, of my paintings, of my drawings, my photography. And I think with Society Six, that's just going to really help me to get it to people who actually want it, because they handle the means of production. I just have to like do the marketing and stuff like that. So I think all that's coming to a head now. Where even in art school, I was always thinking, get a stockpile of art, and then you release it. You don't try to do things like right now. You kind of like make your groundwork there in art school, and then you kind of push it out. Like Andy Warhol was the master of that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's an advertising. He worked in advertising before he became an artist, so he knew exactly what he was doing. Like, it wasn't so much about making art; it was about marketing art.
Right. Exactly. And that's really 101 in period. Is that
Yeah,
if you're able to market yourself, you're able to go leaps and bounds further than someone that can't get it in front of the right eyes or the right people.
yeah. I mean, I'm a ham though, so it's like when I get into a spot, I'm gonna go all out on it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We
Yeah.
got a question here. What types of photos do you take in San Francisco?
Uh, Basically, I used to do a lot of environmental portraiture. Like, I had a whole photo set called Faces and Places, and I forget the other name of it, but I basically would walk through the Tenderloin and take pictures of homeless people, and I'd talk to them about like how they got to be homeless, and it's like it's intense, like you know, just hearing their stories and how they ended up that way. But then I also just take a picture because they're like talking to me. I'm like having a rapport with them. That was what kind of made the pictures what they were, because you know the look in their eyes when I took the picture was like right as they were telling me something like super meaningful and impactful for their life. And from there, I kind of did a lot of street photography. The Occupy movement, that was like a big thing for me too. Like, because I always wanted to be a reporter before.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that was a perfect time to.
exactly.
Yeah, really.
So I was basically just going in, like embedding myself in a nutshell. I wasn't really like joining in on it, but I just go to the protests and talk to the people. Like, that was kind of before Faces and Places. So,
Yeah,
or I think it was photography of the streets or something. That's what I called it. Um, but that was kind of the precursor to me doing the homeless people and stuff. But I do love street photography. Number one, I'm not a big nature photographer, but I can do it. Also, I kind of, it's not like dislike nature, but I don't really like being out in the wilderness. I'd
You know
much rather.
any California bears coming up to you and trying to give you a
No,
hug?
exactly. Yeah. I'm not trying to get mauled.
Right, exactly. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
My sister says, That's a great children's book, Radiant Child." And she
Mhm.
also posted the link, for you guys. If you can click
Oh,
on that, Amazon.
yeah, no, I mean, Enzo is definitely a little painter. My son, he basically we set up an easel and he loves to just paint. Doesn't care what he's doing. He wants to paint.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah,
my daughter as well. You know, you sent her, a few art kits and things that she can
yeah,
do. She enjoys it, and I think that's her expressing herself. You know, singing and art is her two ways of expressing herself. So
yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you, talking to her and lending some advice, and because I think that goes a long way, definitely for someone that's doing it. You know,
No, definitely. I mean, it's like I know with the arts programs in schools, they're not really being pushed as much. Like, I feel like they don't think arts is important to a child's development. But I mean, perfect example. Like, I took art classes in like high school and stuff, and obviously we'd have like little art classes in elementary school and stuff like that. But because I didn't get all that like fine arts stuff in my life when I was younger, like, you know, the school system was not designed for kids to be trained artists.
yeah,
So that kind of just made me want to be better at it. And once I did get in art school, it's like I had this whole wealth of creativity just bubbling up and exploded. And uh, after I got out of art school, I think I did over close to 100 paintings the first 3 months I got out of art school. So that was just me sitting around setting up multiple canvases, and while one is drying, work on the next one in like a circle.
yeah.
So you just gotta keep that kind of movement going and pushing kids to be creative and expressing themselves. That's like a really important part of their lives, I feel like.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you know by chance, how many pieces of art would you say you have approximately?
Approximately. So I've only sold one. I gave away like three, uh, just for no reason, which were some of my better pieces. I'd probably say in total I've done, I want to say 95 to 100 pieces, um, vary in size. Like I like to do big pieces, so that's also that's why I don't have like a crazy amount of paintings because I'm more obsessed with the size of it than the, the technique and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We got a great question here from, my sister. What is the future of art as we move into the era of metaverse?
Geez, I think it's gonna be NFT. Like
Oh
I,
yeah,
I hate to say that, but it's like digital art will become the new standard. Where, I'm sure you heard about that NFT that sold for like some obscene amount of money, and
crazy
it's
amount.
like it's not even real. It's like,
Right. It's not even something. It's not anything you can hold. It's
yeah,
something you can download on an app. I guess. I mean, I don't know what do you do with it.
exactly.
That's the part I don't understand.
I mean, that's the biggest thing where it's like I feel like going to art school. There's like a lot of people go to art school, but the creativity is just not there. Um, like, you can use a computer program, but if you were to ask them to paint something, uh, they would struggle to do that because, you know, I feel like with this age of technology overtaking, you don't even have to use a real pen and pencil. So it's like, what would you really need to learn how to write for? What
Yeah,
would you really need to learn how to, draw something for? But I think that's just, it's like kind of a sad time.
yeah. It is. It is. And when NFTs kind of first came out, me and my wife Erica were just looking at each other like, what do you do with it? Like,
Yeah,
where's the
exactly.
what
I
what,
mean,
what
I think it's like the cryptocurrencies,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
exactly.
kind of gonna become the that's what NFTs are gonna become, where it's like, oh, I just got this Pokemon card, because that's what NFT is just buying and collecting Pokemon cards. It doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah,
Like, why? You're just owning it. Like, it's
right,
new stocks and bonds.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
Uh, but speaking of stocks and bonds, super fine. That was they do these I guess art salon things, and I just went to that last night. So I think that's going to be the next step for me, is trying to get in there and get some of those over 100 paintings in there, so I can actually make some money off of it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we talked about that. The Superfine Art Fair.
Yep.
Look that up. We're giving them a little bit of a plug, but Shane's going to be there next year or whenever the next
Yeah, and
fair
also I
is.
want to give a shout out to Sydney Puller. She was one of the artists who was there. Amazing painter. She told me about how to get into the super fine like feeder system, whatever. So
Mm,
I really appreciate her talking to me, taking time out to answer some questions. But she is her paintings are amazing, and I was talking to her and I was like, "Oh, that painting's so good," and she's like, "That's my least favorite painting." And that's the way it is with all artists. The ones you hate the most is the one people love.
yeah,
Like,
that's true. That's a really good point. And I've heard other artists say that is that they may
yeah,
not. The one that they don't like is the one that's would sell will be to the highest bidder.
no, exactly.
Yeah,
I think it's like ridiculous, but art is so subjective that you know, I would love for people to love the paintings I hate, because I would feel less bad about selling them,
right, right, right. So thank you, Raymond Matthews. Thank you for tuning in to DS3 Live special edition this Sunday. My parents say, "Wow, 100." And then we got another question here from your dad. How do you determine the colors to use in a painting? That's a good question.
Oh, for me, it's like I said, color theory. That was one of my favorite classes. So I try to juxtapose with the warm and cool colors, but also it's like I'm more fond of bright colors. So it doesn't matter if they're cool or warm, but it's like I want everything to pop. So I try to I don't know how to describe it, but I want it to be like sunbursts everywhere, but not overwhelming. So like I don't know if you guys can see the Housewife Cab circa 1952 one. That one was the story behind how I did it. I didn't even like I don't think about the color choices. I just decide, okay, I want to use these three or four colors, and I just start with picking three or four colors. Some of them might be cool, some of them might be warm, but overall, I want that like radiance to shine through. So
Yeah,
it's all about that. It's not about soft colors, whatever. It's like bright poppy colors.
yeah. Now you're talking about the one that's over my head. Let's see, this one
Yes.
here,
Oh no, no, to the right.
this one here.
Yeah, that one right there. Yeah.
It's kind of
So,
weird. You don't know which way your hands gonna go, whatever.
exactly.
But
But
let me allow you guys to get a clear shot of some of the art here. So let me move that. So yeah, the one in the top right for those of you probably viewing, and these are a couple of pieces. And one thing I'll say that I love is just the variety of colors and just how, like
mhm,
you said, how it pops and how it's. To me, I was just scrolling through the site, just mesmerized, just looking at each and every different piece. So here's a
mhm,
clear view. Like I said, we'll go to the website here in a few
yeah.
moments. But yeah, I value and appreciate what you're doing.
No, I mean, thank you. I always love to hear good feedback, and that's my big thing. Like, I feel like people who know me, they've never seen my art, so it's like I tell my artist I'm an artist, and they'll be like, "Oh, cool." but then they until they see my art, it's like there's no impact.
right.
So that's my
So,
thing with my paintings. I want it to be. I don't like to describe my paintings. I want you to just see them because there's no words. It's just like you have to see it to believe it.
right, right, right. And Cornelia says you are such an art historian. Yeah,
I,
breaking it down here.
a little bit, a little bit. I mean, I don't know. It's like I do have appreciation for art. I'm more of a technique guy. Like I was obsessed with learning how to do the super flat style when I did those paintings, which kind of sparked me to paint all those because I was really obviously didn't do the super flat style, but I was really just trying to do a few of them like perfectly. And I know even Tracy, my brother, we've had on the show. I gave him a Scarface painting with that. You know that scene where Manolo and him are chilling on the beach.
Yeah,
I painted that in like the impressionistic style, and that was my first time ever doing anything like that style, and it came out really good. And I was like, I'm giving it to my brother because he loves Scarface, so it's still hanging up at his house.
awesome. And I
Yeah.
think that's great to be able to share it with your family, and they
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it and they want it. And I think that means for sure that you're definitely doing your thing. Definitely.
I'm trying, man.
Now let's talk about some of the art shows that you've uh, been in, and kind of
Mhm.
what are you looking to do in the future?
So I mean, before my first solo show, I'd just go to different hair salons and different restaurants or bars and see if I could just hang up my paintings there. Um, so the first art show that I had was um, it wasn't even my personal art show, but it was for one of my friends' events. And so I just was hanging up all my paintings for this I think I don't know what they were doing. It was just like a day drink thing or some kind of partnership with some chess club. And when I finally got my first solo show, uh, I titled it "I'm Not a Real Artist. I Just Have Internet Connection." And I got that title because my girlfriend at the time, obviously not the one I'm with now, but
Yeah,
she said that to me. She was like, "You're not even a real artist. You just have internet connection." And I was like, "Okay, that's gonna be the perfect title for my show." So, you
yeah.
know, it kind of just like,
Yeah. What does that even mean?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, like I'm having a show right now, so I guess I don't just have internet connection.
Yeah, yeah,
But
uh,
my main thing is the super fine. I really want to partner with them, and not only I don't care about the sales from that. It's more about getting the exposure so I can push my Society Six. Um, because like I said, Society Six they handle all the means of production. It's just put on the artists to market themselves, and I see myself kind of making a mark with product design stuff. Like you know, I really want to get into making a little more of clothing. Like I know a lot of the shirts that I have are have like graphic designs on them. So I feel like my paintings would lend themselves very well to clothing. Maybe not so much like high fashion stuff, but more like streetwear, things of that nature. And I feel like people would like it because who doesn't want to walk around with a dope ass painting on their shirt, you know?
right. Yeah, real. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All
Yeah.
right, so let me give a quick shout out. Information Man Show. Thank you for tuning in. He'll be coming up at 4 Central on BS3 TV. So stay tuned in to the Roku channel. Got something every day. Let's go ahead and go to the Society 6 website while we are talking about it. So let me pull that up here just a second. All right, so you should see the website right there to the left of us. And it's society6.com/smirking kills. I'll put that up there at the bottom of the screen so that you
Hmm.
can see that. And let's just kind of scroll through and take a look at some of the pieces. And some of these you could see that I have in the images behind me. If you could talk about this Jazzy Corner uh, San Francisco art print.
Oh yeah, for that one, again, just walking around with my. This is like when you know iPhone cameras were not the best, so I had this camera attachment for it, and I was walking around. I think it might have been after work or on the weekend when I wasn't working, and I saw these two jazz musicians, playing music for change and money, and they didn't want me to take the picture, but overall, I did take the picture. So I just thought it was like a good throwback to the old school because one of them's wearing a suit, hat, fedora, whatever, and it looked kind of out of place because in the financial district everyone's dressed all fancy, but they're going to work, and these people are just out there playing music for money. So I thought it was really striking image, and it was making me think that way as well because I used to work at a tech healthcare firm, but I knew I didn't want to do that forever, and I kind of was like, I got to make a choice: be a suit and tie guy or be an artist. So I went with the artist, and kind of captured what I was feeling like at that moment.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And here's the website down below, Society Six at Smirking Kills. Let's go back to the main page here. This image here, I've seen this. I remember seeing that when I was in California. That national rent offense. Probably
Hmm.
when they're building something or when it's condemned or something like that. But talk about kind of the thought process behind that.
Oh well, this is kind of just a random occurrence. I was living in the marina at the time. I took a walk during the night, and I saw that gas station all the time. And you know, again with I told you Ed Rushka is one of my art idols. He did a painting called Standard Station, and it was just a gas station on fire, but the way it was painted was very nice. So every time I see a gas station, I try to take a picture so I can um, kind of reinvent the Standard Station painting, like just that image of a gas station sitting alone, and with the fence in front of it, it kind of just makes it. I like the lattice look of it, so it kind of added layers and depth to it. So for me, it was kind of like walk by this all the time, but the lighting at night was insane because I think they still had some lights on inside, even though it's not a working gas station. So I thought that was weird. Number one, so I was like, I'm just gonna take a picture of this. There it is.
Yeah, awesome. And I think that just shows, and if you can kind of comment on this, anything can be art.
Oh,
There's not,
definitely.
I don't think there's, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's anything that you could say, oh, that's not art because it's based on, the person.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kandinsky said, "I value artists who are the embodiment of their art because that's what people buy. They don't buy just uh, what's it called? Just like a normal drawing. They want something that tells people what the artist does and who he is or her, and it's kind of you have to be really put your heart and soul into it when you're making art. You can't just kind of just mass produce stuff all the time.
Yeah, yeah, true, true.
Like that housewife cab painting. Man, I was pretty tipsy when I did that, and I finished it in the dark. So it's kind of like I was impressed that I could do that with no light.
Wow. And which one are you? Is this the one? Is it one of these on the screen here?
No. It's the one above your screen on the right, the one I showed pointed out to you
Oh,
before.
okay, okay.
But I think it's somewhere in the page. But
Let's as we're kind of scrolling through, you can take a look at some of the art here. We also have prints, we have masks, we have uh, phone cases, and I think
that
the one
housewife
here.
circa 1952.
Yeah, I love that one. That
Yeah,
is,
I
yeah,
mean, honestly, I did that, finished it in the dark, basically. Like it was like I don't know, I was in the zone, so I really wanted to get it
yeah,
finished before the sun went down, but I obviously did not get it done. So I, I basically did the last half of it in the dark, and I was like, it's crazy because that's like the India inking and all that stuff. So it's kind of like, all right, you got to do it right. You got to
yeah,
finish this up.
yeah, definitely. That's amazing, man. That is utterly amazing. You were able to finish that in the dark. Some people, me, I don't think I could do that in the light. So, you know,
And the funny thing is with the champagne bottle or the wine bottle, whatever, that was originally intended to be like a butcher knife. But
mm,
then I was like, no, that's way too dark. So I made it a wine bottle. So if you look closely, you can kind of see the edge of the knife in the bottle, and
mhm,
that's kind of where it started out. And then I filled in the rest of it with bottle. So I kind of really like that because you know I went into that not knowing what I was gonna paint, but kind of switched up everything throughout the painting. So it was really fond memories of that painting. It's one of my favorites.
yeah, yeah, that's amazing. And yes, I am going to put the link in the comments on the Facebook uh, page. Also, it should be on the YouTube. Put it on there as well. But yeah, definitely go to the website. There's a variety of pieces that's on here, and I'm definitely impressed at what you've done so far. And I know you've got more definitely in mind in the future. Let's go over to page 2 real quick as we're scrolling through. It's got a variety of different pieces. And then you can see, like I said, the cell phone cases. We got fanny packs. We got you set. Now I
Nice.
like this piece right here, which is I'm assuming that's you holding the camera, right?
No, everyone thinks that's a dude, but it's actually it's supposed to be a lady.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I realize now that I'm not very good at drawing female faces, so um, I hear everyone says to me when I'm doing figures that they kind of come out boxy, like more muscular, I guess. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, that's just like I was coming home from work one day and I found a back to school poster on the ground and I was like, oh man, this is perfect canvas. So I took it, went home, and you know I wanted to emulate the Basquiat style where you cut out parts of words and stuff, like black them out with ink or whatever. So I kind of did that with the spray paint first. Like if you see the top left that says back to school, but I cut out a lot of the words and there's somewhere in there you can I think it's on the right side, but it's just like I like to do that kind of stuff where turn something that one thing into something completely different.
Yeah, yeah. And I could definitely see that. And man, the creativity and like I said, I love the color scheme on this. Let
And
me
so that one's a picture of the art.
yeah, let me go to the original. I think this is the
Yeah, the coloring is I put it through one of my apps to like colorize it more or like make them pop a little bit more. But yeah, that's originally The original coloring is like that. I have the original that I'm going to post up sooner than later, but that's just one of the ones that fit best. So that's why I kind of dislike the Society 6 page, because um, it won't let you put certain things on certain products unless it's like perfectly formatted. So that's why I only have so much of my art up there so far.
Yeah,
But coming soon, I will have a lot more.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Was there anything else on the site that you want to point out or?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I can't see anyone who checks out my paintings or my pieces. So the only way that I know what's going on is if sales happen. So uh, please check it out, the site. But the main point is to buy,
Yes.
because I won't be able to tell if you're looking at my stuff. I can only tell when someone's purchasing my things. So
Yeah.
I would say definitely look at the phone cases and the fanny packs. My partner Alyssa, she loves fanny packs, so I'm hoping that you know maybe I'll get her one. And a lot of these photos, the ones I have, are from like my travels in Japan and stuff. So it's like the very sentimental value put onto the art, very much so.
Definitely. Definitely. We've also wanted to point this out. We also have an Apple Watch band, and this is Valentine Train, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope right there.
No, I mean that's the thing. Like,
Amazing what you can do with.
and that's it. I really wish I could do more of the Apple Watch bands, but not all my stuff is formatted for the watches. So, but I
Yeah,
do like the ones that I've gotten out there with the watch. The colors on it, I love how they crop the art, so it makes it like something totally original. You know.
yeah, definitely. This is this is pretty awesome. Scrolling through here, so go to the website. It's up on the screen. Also, I'll post it in the comments as I just kind of scroll through some of the other
Okay.
items here.
Wait. Go back to the Prehysteria. That was the last painting I've actually done. So
Okay.
that one I finished it uh, literally right before or after my first art show, and then I went into the hospital. So that was the last true Shane Killian piece. Uh, Happened in 2012. So that's like one of my cherished pieces as well, because you know the story behind that was kind of wacky. I had a weird dream about, I was asleep at a bar or something, and I wake up and I'm trying to walk around the streets of San Francisco, and trying to talk to everybody because everyone's looking at me super weird, and everyone's like looking at me weird and like scared. And then I come across this cop, and he's like, "Sir, sir," and I keep trying to talk, and I'm like, "Ugh." And he's like, "Sir, are you aware that you are a real dinosaur right now?" And I look in a plate glass window, and I'm like, "I am a dinosaur," and I painted that.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, turning that into art, I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Great. All right, make sure to go to the website and purchase. I will be doing that myself. I haven't yet, but I will be. And yeah, I'm really impressed. We got 5 pages of different pieces and the fine art print, canvas print, iPhone cases. We really have some of everything there. So let's bring us back on the screen. And yes, this is dope. It is. Uh,
Thank you, Camellia.
let's see another comment. So proud of you. We definitely are, man. And there's no limit. People say the sky's the limit, but there's no limit to
Yeah.
what you're going to do with your art and what you have. Now, also, I wanted to pull up your website as well just to see some other pieces that, and this is smirkingkills.com. And we got a few pieces here if you want to talk about any of these that maybe may have a story behind it or something. Let me pull it up here. So, there we go.
Yeah. So this website, this one was most of the paintings are from live events. So like if you look at the bottom left, that's a portraiture of the streets, and that's kind of, remember the one I was talking about with homeless people
Right.
portrait. That's kind of where it started at. So if you want to click on that one, because I've been talking about my paintings a lot, but photography is also pretty good.
This one
The
here,
bottom left.
bottom left.
Yeah.
So
So this one, there's these two homeless girls named Apple and Riddles, and I'd see them every time when I was walking down Van Ness. And finally, one day, I stopped and talked to them because it's like when I started bartending. So I had days off during the daytime. So basically, I was asking them again, "What are you guys up to? Like, what are you doing?" They're like, "Oh, we're homeless," and all this stuff. So I thought it was just really funny to talk to them because I'd see them like at least once or twice a week, and one of them was like, "We're figments of your imagination." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So
I'm looking right
it's
at
pretty. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just took some pictures of them because they were pretty chill. They weren't like one of those dangerous homeless people.
you. Yeah. All right. Let's scroll down. I like this. I like this one right here.
This one was in there's a church up on I think California Street, and that lady going through her backpack, Paula Recaray, she's a Spanish photographer that I met my first time living in the city. So she was also a photojournalist. So we basically just walked around the city shooting uh, whatever we saw on like a random Saturday or Sunday, and she took a break. I think she was rolling a cigarette or something. So just squatted down at the bottom of the stairs, took that snap, and that kid on the left, he's claiming to be a British homeless kid, but I don't think he was British.
I was a part of his story.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we go down to the next one.
This dude right here, he's telling me his son hit him in the head with a baseball bat, and he took off his hat, and his whole side of his head was like caved in, and I was like, "What is going on with this?" So I took a picture of him, and he was drinking while I was sitting there, so he had like a bottle of some kind of like Mad Dog 2020 or something, and I was just like, "Man, I'm sorry that your son is such a dick."
Yeah, really. Yeah, do that to you.
Yeah.
So that explains the beanie then that he's wearing.
Exactly. But I mean, he's all smiley, so I was like amazed. That's what he's like. You gotta laugh at the pain, I guess, if it's happening to you. But yeah, I felt bad for that dude.
Yeah, yeah, really. But yeah, being able to still smile through that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down to the next one. I like the graffiti in the back.
Mm-hmm. No, this guy was he's like telling me he moved from Texas or something, and he's like, "Hey, if I give you my mom's address, can you send this picture to her?" And I was like, "Sure, give me your mom's address." And unfortunately, I did not mail that picture. I'm pretty sure I lost the address, all that stuff. But I thought it was pretty compelling, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
you think about it, who moves to San Francisco and how many of those people actually make it something of themselves and how many end up on the streets.
Right. Right. That's true. Similar
Right.
to a lot of LA stories where people say, I'm going to go to LA and be an actor. And how many of them make it? Many of them end up being homeless, or on the
Yeah.
street. So,
It's so true. Uh, this dude, he's not homeless, obviously, but
yeah.
this dude is I called it hippie Kurt Cobain because he looks exactly like Kurt Cobain.
It
You know,
does. I was just thinking that. Yeah. I was like, wow, that dude looks like he's playing pool.
hmm
66 in the background.
Yeah, that's one of my one of the random bars on the in San Francisco, but I've never actually gone into it to have a drink. But
Mm,
and that's Riddles, the one who said we're figments of your imagination.
yeah. So the lady up top was her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah, that's
they're together.
Riddles on the left, apples on the right. That's Sheriff Joseph. He's telling me his story, and he's talking about how he used to have a wife and kids, worked for the police department as a sheriff. I think he's from Ohio originally or something, and apparently he started to hit the bottle pretty hard. So his wife left him with his kid, and then he ended up being a homeless guy. And he actually carried my last painting I actually did to the park so I could finish it. So
Mm,
shout out to Sheriff Joseph wherever you're at. Hopefully you're still laying down the law and not dead because you were a cool dude.
yeah, yeah. And I agree with my parents here. Great job in capturing life. I mean,
hmm
this is this is a documentary, really. When you tell them the story and excuse me, and the pieces, and it's really touching to hear, and it just shows that you care about what you put out, and there's a story behind everything
hmm
you're doing.
And this dude right here.
Looks like he's making the Theus face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but this dude, he's trying to talk to me. He's told me a story, but I was like, bro, like he's like hella hostile. So I was just like, I'll take a picture of you, but I don't know what you want me to do because he kept asking me questions, like getting like really close to me.
Yeah, a little
Um,
too close.
yeah, so I was like, this is your picture. I'm gonna take it, and I'll be that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's like right by that's like right on the corner where I usually would run into Apples and Riddle or Riddles and Apple.
mhm,
So that was like kind of where I was talking to them because I knew them already, and then he tries to jump in and like make friends with me, whatever. I'm like, bro, I don't know you. You're getting really close and kind of hostile. So
a little, a little
here's your
uncomfortable.
yeah,
I'm sure.
exactly.
All right, it's the next one. Is this the same guy that said you sent a picture to my?
Oh no, this dude is actually I saw him after when I was in the unemployment line. Uh, I saw that dude and he was telling me he's like, you got to watch out. Don't be carrying around that camera. You know, everyone, we got thieves all over here. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like walking around with my camera and everything, and going down in the Tenderloin. And thankfully, I'm a black dude. I had dreads at the time, so obviously they're not gonna mess with me like that. Um, but yeah, it's like he was really talking some real stuff. He's like, bro, you're walking around with the camera. Don't do that. Like, you don't know who's down here. And I was like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you for not stealing my camera.
right, exactly. Thank you for the free game because yeah, you never know who's got the right intentions.
Yeah. And I think that dude was hanging out with him. I don't remember his name, but he was looking like Rough Riders,
Yeah,
ready
he
for
looks
action.
he looks comfortable. He's got a jacket and a hoodie and
Yep.
gloves, and it's been cold out that day.
Yeah. And that's the flip side. Ultra homeless people, no shoes. I didn't talk to that guy, but I like the picture because the coloring is so dope on it. Like the
Yeah,
red tile, the red brick.
yeah, it
And,
definitely it comes together great.
and this dude, he's funny. I used to see him all the time. He'd play a boombox on a Embarcadero, and I just took a picture of him. I was like, "Is it cool if I take a picture of you?" And he's like, "Yeah, for sure, man." Like, he was the nicest dude. He was not angry or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a nice picture there.
And then this is just random street photography.
Working on a light.
Yeah,
These are interesting photos of people I've encountered during. This is Mega Store, is what it says.
yeah. I think that was that became some store on Market Street when this is well before it opened up. So like, oh, I'm seeing this picture. It's like, damn, that's how long ago. And now, I walk by there, I know exactly what's going on there.
Yeah, and that's a great thing about photography. It takes a shot of that moment in time, and
Hmm.
then things change. So I mean, like
Yeah.
that's pretty special.
Oh, but if you can go to the paintings, there's a one shout out my homie Zach Sweets. Yeah. So that's a Ghost Girl painted that a while back. That was my real first painting ever.
Mm, I like that, especially with the colors over on the left.
So yeah, spray paint, India ink, all that stuff. Then this one is this is like a collabo from me and like four or five different artists. One of them, I went to art school with Zachary Sweets. He's pretty dope. Like he's hands down one of the best painters I know. Um, and I don't see him very often anymore, but we used to kick it at So You Think You Can Paint at Club Six in San Francisco.
Mm,
And this is one of the pieces we did. I did the "Marry Me," the one in the middle. The lady, like if you really look closely, the coloring and shading on it is insane because I feel like I accurately depicted the shadows and kind of like distorted facial features. And like that was the first time I ever tried anything like that, so I was pretty happy with it.
yeah, yeah. I could definitely see it. The the
Hmm.
attention to detail, especially on the face. Well,
Yeah, I really like the colors. Like,
yeah, it looked real good. This is
yeah, so it says whatever you think the opposite. And that
mm,
was a book that was given to me by this Hawaiian girl in art school. Um, Shout out to Caitlin Duquette, wherever she's at. I don't know. Last time I heard about her, she was living in Oregon or something like that. But yeah, she's definitely one of the first kids I met at art school. So she's pretty chill, very chill.
cool. Cool. This is
And
like more
that's
of a wider view.
yeah, it's a full shot of it. It's
Yeah,
a like
right.
I loved it. It kind of came all together with me and five other artists just going to town on whatever. And so I was happy about how it came out, like especially because mine is like the centerpiece.
Yeah, you definitely got the piece that everybody's gonna glance at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
But no, that's my first foray into trying to do t-shirts. I literally just spray painted onto a t-shirt. So
You just did everything from the jump with the
yeah,
t-shirt on that. Is that a like an ironing board or
yeah. I just use the ironing board to keep it straight and
yeah?
like fleshed out.
I like that though. That's
Oh, thank you.
dope.
And that's also from a. So you think you can paint? Which one do you think I painted?
I would say the woman.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
The one on the left, um, it doesn't necessarily look like your style. It looks kind of like a kid,
Yeah,
just the way the drawing is. But like
no,
I
it's
said,
like
everyone's art. So
yeah. No, so I
I
mean,
like in the middle.
I was painting next to some girl who was a neurologist, and so that's why if you look at the top, it's a thought bubble with a brain in it. And
Uh,
again, I'm trying to do impressionistic style or old school, like the classical style on the painting with her, and it came out kind of looking like pop art, but I like it a lot. And then she tried to paint me, and that's a little stick figure, little kid thing, because I used to wear a shirt that said "Keep calm and carry on." So
so yeah,
but it fit out perfectly because I was wearing all red anyway.
perfect.
And that was my first mural. I'm so sad because I don't have the full picture of it. There's basically like that figure on the bottom. I did like 5 or 6 women, and they were all they looked very distinct and different each one. So I never got a picture of that, the full one, but you know, hopefully I can find out where the picture is so I can have the full picture of it because that was like my favorite one, and I don't even remember what it looked like fully.
Yeah, yeah. But that mural is it still there?
No, I don't think it is. It was done at the place where I had my first art show, and I think the storefront got closed down a while ago. So I wish it was still there, but I doubt it is still there because it was done in paint, like gouache and India ink, so easily washable, or not easily, but it's not like well, it's spray paint. It was spray paint, India ink, gouache, and acrylic. So who knows? It might have been painted over, but I haven't been back down there in a while.
Yeah. Shout out to Lugal Sam's. Thank you for tuning in. Give the bomb with some stars there.
Yeah. Oh, and I used to go by Cherry Bomb.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
okay. Oh, that's what that means. We definitely we talked about this one, and yeah, you can see the knife
Yep.
now, or the handle. It's like the handle of the knife.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
I
yeah,
mean that's like there's like so many versions of this because I actually showed it at that event I was telling you about, the chess event, and it started raining, so the painting now is like weathered, but it still looks really cool.
yeah. That looks good.
Yeah,
There
and
we
that's the
go.
original. That's the original.
Now I can
But
kind of see the necklace. Looks like
yeah.
that's going around. So now that kind of makes sense. And
Mhm.
the lips kind of makes sense now that that's a female.
Yeah. This is one of my favorites. Hips to be squared.
Hips to be like that.
Yeah. Like a lot of these paintings are of my ex girlfriend, but you know, that was in the past.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna scroll past
Yeah. I
Now
mean,
this says life like
life like love.
okay.
That's what I call it.
That's interesting right there. That it's kind
Yeah.
of
See,
like a face with
yeah, it's supposed to be like the teeth are like the city,
okay, I see.
like the cityscape.
Yeah, yeah, like the skyline. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Skyline.
yeah.
So So I did that in like I think I did most of these paintings I did in like one day, like maybe a
Wow,
couple hours.
start to finish.
What's that?
From start to finish in one day.
Yeah, I mean, if even that, like maybe a matter of hours.
Wow.
That's another one of a collabo. This one was the figure was done by my ex girlfriend. She was a fashion designer, so she was well versed in the flats, which is like what fashion designers do. They just
Hmm.
draw the figures with the clothes on, so that explains why it's like very just no emotion. But then
Yeah,
I did the colors, so the blocking and you know the yellow cross, that was all me. I
definitely.
like that one. It's okay, but if you scroll a little
Yeah.
bit more down, it's the hands.
Uh, yeah. It kind of looks like they're all throwing up different gang signs.
Yep. And this one, yes, this is if you look very closely, the coloring is like I very finely misted with spray paint the colors, so like it's kind of trying to get like a rainbow cloud effect,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think I succeeded pretty well on that. And then she's flipping off while walking a giant beetle, so just a little wacky surrealist stuff for you.
yeah, yeah. And this is on the Society 6
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
website.
think you get a phone case of that one. And that's Island Princess. Did it on a surfboard, like a glass surfboard.
Wow.
Not a literal surfboard, but surfboard shaped piece of glass. I
Yeah,
used to break apart my desks and do make the canvas out of them. So this one had like three or four pieces of glass.
yeah. I remember you were telling my daughter, use cardboard or use kind of whatever you want to create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my first pieces were on cardboard. And this is my I gave that to my dad for his birthday one year. And if you notice, it's called Atomic Law because you know my dad's a lawyer.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, I like this.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's hanging up in his either office or the house somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. That wraps up the paintings there. I like that one a lot.
Nice.
Let's bring us all back into screen. So, man, this has been great. Just kind of canvassing through your art, the different pieces. Make sure to go to Society 6 website.com
Yep.
/Smirking Kills and purchase some items.
Yeah,
Also, smirkingkills.com. And, he said it's in my home office.
there we go. It's both things at once.
Yeah,
Two
definitely.
things can be true. But yeah,
Awesome.
also if anyone checks out the what's it called, my website, and they want to perhaps purchase some actual paintings, not just Society Six, I'll give my email address and inquiries can go there. I usually hand out business cards, but um, yeah, I can't do that right now.
Yeah. I'll- the virtual. What's the email though? I'll type that in and
Okay, yeah, the email is actually, you know what? Shane.o.killian@gmail.com.
okay.
And also, if you want to go with keep it the Smirking Kills theme, it's Smirking Kills 2305 at iCloud.com. All you have to do is type painting, and if you can figure out which paintings you want from my multiple websites, then you can let me know which ones, and I can tell you if I still have the physical version of that painting.
Awesome. Awesome. So I got the email right down below, shane.o.killian@gmail. And yeah, we've went through a variety of different pieces, and they are phenomenal, creative, and definitely looking forward to what's to come. This won't be your last time on the show. So anytime you have something coming up or you just want to come on and talk about a new piece or whatever it may be,
Yep.
we can definitely do this again. I definitely enjoyed it and kind of just going through the art and allowing people to see it, kind of a virtual art show a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. We're just going through my stuff and hearing about the stories from my pieces.
Yeah.
It's always
And the
fun.
stories are amazing too. Like I would,
Yeah.
man, if you know of a filmmaker, man, possibly get with that person. Somehow if there's a way to put something together, where they're showing the art and you talking about it, even if
Yeah.
you could go back to those places too, just
Mm-hmm.
to see, what it looks like now. And like I said before, that's the beauty of taking photography. You're able to go back and see what's there. Is it still look the same? Is it different? Is
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, a lot of San Francisco, a lot of things change.
Yeah,
Rapidly.
definitely. Yeah, it's awesome to be kicking it with my cousin Trey virtually. Man, I haven't seen you in a while, but always good to
Yeah,
see you. Always great to talk to you, man. Thank you for this opportunity.
definitely, definitely, definitely. All right. Final thoughts. Anything you want to share with the viewers before we get out of here?
Well, just wanted to say, make sure, for those of you who have kids, inspire them, uh, encourage them to work on creative things. The younger they start, the better, because, like, I know for a fact, being an artist takes a long time to get good.
Oh yeah,
You want to be something, you got to keep working at it and always be looking to improve, things of that nature. That's always going to be the key to success. You want to make sure you are doing what you need to do every single day, whether it be art, life in general. Um, yeah, just definitely check out my social medias, websites, all that stuff. Looking forward to seeing what this will bring. And Trey, obviously, I'd love to be back on the show when I have some new stuff coming out. All that stuff, man.
yeah, definitely. We'll definitely make it happen. Just reach out to me, and I'll get you on the show as soon as possible. So
Yeah, that
once
sounds amazing.
again, Shane Killian, my cousin, artist, amazing job. Make sure to go to the websites. Also, you got the email. You got everything you need to be able to check him out, to be able to purchase some art and get with him in the future as well. Make sure also follow on social media, Smirking Kills, also up underscore in underscore Adam underscore industries. So you got everything you need, and links are in the website. Links are in the description of the show. So thank you for coming on tonight. Today, actually, not tonight. Thank you for coming on this afternoon, and we appreciate you.
Definitely. Thank you, Trey. Appreciate it, man. Great being on the show.
Definitely, definitely. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Oh, all right. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
I'm going to
definitely,
close
man.
you out. You were going to say something.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, just make sure if you're emailing me about a painting, put in the subject painting, so I
Oh,
know that it's for the purchasing.
definitely. All right. All right.
All
Well,
right.
appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
All right, everybody, take care.
All right. Shane Killian, man, is amazing artist. You can see the pieces, some of the pieces behind me. And yeah, this was fun. Really going through, showing some of his art, showing what he's done in the past, what he's going to be working on, talking about what he's going to be doing in the future. So it was a really great interview. You'll be able to find this. So if you didn't catch the whole show, you can find this on YouTube, find it on Facebook, BS3 Network. Follow on all the avenues of social media. at BS3 Network, as well as on Roku TV. So later on today, it'll be up on Roku TV for demand. You'll be able to find this interview, BS3 Space TV. Very simple. Go to your Roku TV or device. So if you have a Roku TV or you have a device that hooks up to your TV, you'll go in, go to the search section, type in BS3 Space TV like you see it on the screen. From there, you can download it. Once you download it, it'll be an app on your TV. You can go to that app at any point in time of the day. There'll be a live playlist playing of shows throughout the week. Also, all the shows are available on demand. We also have films and movies. We have one of each, but we're going to be going into that realm as well. So if you know of a filmmaker, you know of somebody making a TV show, we would love to get that on the network. Also, music videos, we're going to have those coming up on the channel as well. So we're going to have something on the channel for everybody. That is the main goal, from politics to society and culture to music to sports to travel to cooking. We're looking for a cooking show. So we're really building this thing to have content for everyone. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you, Uncle Clinton. He said good show. Thank you. Lugal Sams, thank you for tuning in. My sister, thank you for tuning in. Information Man Show, who'll be coming up at about 4:15 on BS3 TV on Roku. Raymond Matthews, thank you for tuning in. I'll be getting with you at some point in time today, sir, if you are still tuning in. My parents, my Aunt Joe, thank you guys. We appreciate the family, the support. Courtney Harden, thank you as well. All right, we're going to get out of here. Great show, great interaction. We appreciate all the content, all of the comments. I meant to say, you guys have a good one. More content to come on BS3 TV. Have a good one. Peace.